So, how's it going, guys? Shady here, back with another video, and today a really big Unchained video to help you with your decision making in deck building, talking about deck philosophies, the three main ways that you can play this deck right now, how you can do it, some ratio discussion, just so that we could like start a discussion in the comments, see if we can find what's the best right now. There's not best most times. Right now there is a best, but there's a personal best for everyone, something that works best for you. So I just want to do something that will help you understand how to find that personal play style of yours and how to perfect that deck list that you have for it. So before we get into it, I just wanted to thank you guys a lot because this last month has been insane. The growth on the channel, the amount of views, subs, it's just been amazing, and I just love seeing all of you guys enjoying the videos and thanking me for doing them. I really love doing these videos, and it really makes my day when I go and see you guys enjoy them. So a special thank you to all of you for just the amount of support that I've been getting this last month. I just am really thankful for all of you. And yeah, let's just get into the video, I guess. So before we go into any ratios, we need to discuss possible philosophies. So there's three main ways that you can play the decks, which is the new playstyle that has emerged with the ban list, which is only one Sharvara, no Shyama, no second Shyama, sorry, no disaster, just play one Sharvara. You might lose a bit more to the bureau, but it's more consistent, no extra bricks. Playing some Apollousa lines. This is what everyone has been on right now. This is what has now come out, and it does have its strengths, which is it's a little bit more consistent. Apollousa is really good isolating your combos from Nibiru. And so it is really popular at the moment. It has its weaknesses, which is Nibiru. Nibiru just murders all the combos that this does. So it is really unfortunate that at least this version of the deck now loses to Nibiru. But it is what it is. This is one of the main playstyles right now, just because of more consistency, no extra bricks. But now we start getting to the secondary, not so popular, but also really good right now versions, which is the second Shyama. The second Shyama has really strong points going for it, which is it doesn't really care about Nibiru. It still does all the old combos that go well into board breakers as well. There's not one end trap that just annihilates his deck. You just really need to open a lot, not a lot, but like 2-3 end traps, non-engine going into this deck to like forces us to pass our turn. So I really like right now this format, Unchained, especially because of the fact that we do not care about roll. But yeah, this is one that I like a lot because I do not enjoy getting hit with Nibiru. So yeah, if you're a hater of Nibiru and don't mind the extra brick, this might be the version for you. And then the last one is the disaster. So the disaster is most probably the most unpopular version that you can play this deck with. It basically is just a normal Unchained deck list, and instead of playing a second Shyama, you just put in a disaster. It has some really good things going for it, which is it's better into grind games because disaster just gives you really good grind game, and it's also really good form of not disruption, but removal. Both the Link 3 and Disaster are really good at removing important pieces from your opponent's field in this meta, since everything likes being destroyed right now. Disaster just plays really well into it, so it does have those strong points going for it, but it does have the same weakness as the first combo, which is Nibiru. Nibiru just really hurts it at the moment, and also that you need to play one extra brick than Sharvara. So yeah, a little bit better grind game. Really good way to remove monsters from your opponent's field, but it's an extra break and loses to Nibiru as well. So now let's go probably into some ratios for the deck. So obviously we're just gonna put the second Shyam and the Disaster for the side for a bit right now, and the core of the deck is not going to change at all. Everyone is going to play the same. She's Aruha right here, and then of course you have the triple prison. This is the absolute core. Not a single card in here can be cut at all. This is what never changes. Every list will have these cards in these same ratios, never less than this. This is the absolute core. I don't see any reason to cut any of this, so let's just get it out of the way. This is absolute core right now for the deck, and we get to some decisions when we look at our normal summons. So with only one Sharvara, the most popular normal summon, which was Tour Guide, is a bit worse now because the Rhino is awkward and people don't want to play Sangan because it's just an extra break. So Tour Guide does not have any good targets right now, or at least sometimes it doesn't have any good targets at the moment for the deck because of Rhino potentially being awkward and no one wants to main Sangan. So being a monster where you can't just extend as easily from it, if they end trap you, if your opponent imperms it or something, it's not an Unchained monster, so it will not plus if you open, for example, an Aruha next to it and try to extend with it. And so some people are trying to cut on Tour Guide because of it, and they are giving more attention to Rakia. I feel like you always need 5 normal summons, not more, not less, at least for this deck. 5 normal summons is the exact ideal amount so that you don't get multiple normal summons in your hands all the time. So some people are even starting to either cut out Tour Guide or reducing it to 2, removing this package and just playing triple Rakia, 2 Tour Guides. I personally still like Tour Guide, and I just played 3 and 2. The Rakia went from a 1-off to a 2-off because we just need a second, another one because to compensate for losing a Sharvara. But yeah, you could play with these ratios depending if you like this package or any of these packages. Sangan most probably right now is just going to be side. And it's a good side going first because let's be real, Droll is just devastating this format. So Sangan is worth being sided. But yeah, if you don't think if you want to run this package, you should probably run 3 and 2. If you think Rhino is awkward, just some people are thinking right now, you just take the extra tour guide and you just put in another Rakia. Right now I just really like the tour guide, so yeah. I'm still on the triple tour guide, which is why I just didn't get a further Rakia, but yeah, if you are not that positive about this package, you just cut this, play further Rakia, most probably. And next decision making we need to do is actually with Disaster. Not on the main deck most probably, but on the side deck. Disaster right now gives your deck really good, is really good going second. It gives you also a really good grind game in those games, so there is a point to side Disaster in. If you play, for example, the version with double Shyama, it's really good because you just take the second Shyama going second, since you're most likely not going into Caesar, and you just put in the Disaster, which will help you a lot going second and grinding out and winning the match right there. So you could do that and just side the Disaster. If you play the version with only Sharvara, it still could be really nice, especially because it's a really good removal this format, but you're probably not be as tempted to side it because there's not going to be that much good options to like side it out. So yeah, but the Disaster is actually good this format and could be seen going into Unchained player side decks if the deck still is played, which I really hope so because I love this deck. I hate to admit that it went down to either tier 2 or it's going down even more, but I just love this deck and it's still really good and might be a good meta call. So yeah, let's just hope that people still play it. Then the next decision making is on traps. Depending on the ratios that you have, what amount of non-engine you want to fit, and what really you need to be consistent. I feel like the minimum you could go is 5. You could probably play 6 with Wailing or 6 with the triple chamber, depending on if you feel like Wailing will come up. Which might not, actually, because it's destruction removal, and destruction removal doesn't seem to be that good this format, so there is a point to just removing Wailing and either play 6 right here or 5. But yeah, you could still do that. You could play 7. I personally don't like right now to play 7. It depends a lot on how you're building. If you're maximizing on Rakias and just want to see as much traps as possible, you could play 7 if that's the case. But I feel like 6 is more than enough. Especially because it's more like 9, because a prison also can do the same job as chamber and escape, so I feel like 6 is more than enough. You could do 5. You just have to experiment with yourself what you think gives the deck more consistency and what's better, and you just need to think if Wailing is worth it or not to put in your deck list right now. And then last decision of the main deck before you go into non-engine, it's the DDD package. Some people are trying to put in Griffin as well. I don't like it at all. I actually hate that decision to put Griffin. It just inserts another brick, which is the whole reason to not play the second Shyama. You know, it's the only reason why not playing the second Shyama is popular, is to get less bricks into the deck. So playing Griffin, just having another extra brick, it's not worth it. As much as it makes better to draw this, getting another possibility of just breaking, because let's face it, if you just draw into that Griffin and the Requiem without the spell, they're both dead at the same time, because the Griffin only becomes live the moment you get Requiem live. So I just feel like it's another brick. It's not worth to try the Griffin, the DD Griffin, but this package is mandatory in my view, with the cut of the second and third Sharvara because of the ban lists. I feel like triple gates is almost necessary. There was some experimenting back last format with 2 or 1. I personally was one of those that were playing only 1 and 1. For just not wanting to see this, you would probably just want to see this off of Caesar as follow-up. But I feel like right now, with the changes the deck took, you need 3. You just need consistency as much as possible. So yeah, 3 and 1, I feel like it's going to be almost mandatory. And let's go into the extra deck. Typical Unchained extra deck, not much to talk about here. This is going to be like the core of the extra deck. Depending on what version you're playing, the third Yama will be necessary, because, for example, the version that plays only 1 Sharvara, most times will need the second Yama in the combos, so you need to absolutely play 3 Yamas at that point. I also just always like to have triple Yama in my extra deck, but that's just me, it's personal preference. But yeah, if you play one of those versions that has lines that require you to use 2 Yama, you need to play the third one, it's not a discussion. If not, you could cut the third one and just have more space for more toolbox cards. The 2 rage is absolutely standard, and I do not think you should cut this to 1 or up it to 3. The third rage never comes up. The second rage will come up if you go into a grind game. Believe me, it will. And then you just really need the second one. This is the perfect ratio. Anguish is one of those that you could cut to 1. But this format, Anguish is going to be so good for going second, trying to break Fire King boards. It's just going to be insane, the Anguish. So I really feel like playing 2 is going to come up, especially on grind games. And since we already lost some power in grind games, do not hurt yourself even more. Just play the second Anguish, in my opinion. If you're playing the version which plays Disaster, you might not need the second Anguish, but that is up to you. It depends if you're siding the Disaster, if you're only if you're maining it, it might be okay to cut the second Anguish, but if not, it will just hinder your grind game. The 1 Abomination as an option is just always standard. And of course the 1 Caesar 1 Machinex is standard. Last formats there was a point to playing second Caesar because it would come up in grind games, but I do not feel like that's the case anymore, especially since now making Caesar is harder with only 1 Sharvara, 1 Shyama. The version that plays 1 Shyama, 1 Sharvara, 2 Shyama could do the second Caesar, but I don't think it comes up as much as it came up last format, just because you won't have, most probably, the monsters to make it available to you as like lost the word, at least as much as you wanted. So yeah, it's not gonna be happening that often. And yeah, Machinex mandatory 1 because of the DDBD package. So yeah, this is the core of the extra deck. The only things you might want to put in here are, of course, a target for Rage, which could be either Unicorn or SP, depending on your budget. If you can go for SP, go for it, because SP is absolutely insane. It makes Rage into a triple disruption. If not, for budget reasons, since this is kind of a budget deck, you can just play Unicorn here instead. And there is some viable applications of Apollousa in this these newer versions of the deck. So you can decide to play the Apollousa, but it depends on you. It could be a really good decision, depends on the version of your deck. If you're playing the more standard version, the old standard version with which is just the Caesar lines through Nibiru with the second Shyama, you're not gonna ever go into Apollousa, because Apollousa will protect you from Nibiru, but it also will make your board more open to board breakers. So that's a decision you want to make. If you want to just put it in the extra deck instead of playing a break in the main deck to play around Nibiru, and yeah, just lose a bit more to board breakers. Board breakers are not that popular right now, so that could be a good decision, but yeah, you still have some space here for putting some cards. You could play some Caesar Siphons, Goddess if you want to respect, for example, a Pearly matchup, or something like that. That could absolutely be done. But yeah, I feel like this is all that you really need for the deck. Let's just go into some combos. Let's do first for the Sharvara only version of the deck, the one that only plays one Sharvara, no more bricks. Let's go for the main combo. So you just set the trap and you go Aruha effect, and then you activate the trap effect. And you get the Sharvara here. Depending on what you started, since you absolutely want to escape on the field, most probably. Yeah, if you want to escape on the field, you absolutely will depend on what's starting. If you started with escape, it's fine. You can summon here the Shyama and then pop Aruha for Sharvara. But if you started with chamber and you're going to get escaped here, you most probably want to keep escape set, so you would not pop Aruha here, just summon directly Sharvara like I'm doing, so that you can pop it with Sarama, so that you can still have full combo and keep the escape right here. It depends on how you want to play it. But yeah, I like doing this way, so I'll just link these two off into the Yama, chainlink one Yama, chainlink to Sharvara as usual. Yeah, the trap is right here, sorry. So you get the other trap, and we get, since we haven't used your normal summon, the Sarama. If you started with the Rakia, you get Aruha instead, so that you can go Aruha, and Aruha could either get Shyama or Sarama, depends on what you want, and then Sarama sets and pops Aruha, and then Aruha summons from the deck, and it's the full combo still. But if you did not start with Rakia and start with Aruha, you have your normal summon. The best way would probably be to normal summon Sarama, and here you can go Aruha, pop. And that gives you a Aruha effect to summon the Shyama, which will be put right here into a Rage. And then you can just go Shyama on Rage effect to get Sharvara to hand. And then you go Sharvara on Sarama effect. And right here, if you're scared your opponent might Nibiru you rear at the end, you just get Rakia. If not, and you don't want to play into Super Poly, you get an Aruha. So that's up to you. If you, what do you want to play into? If it's Nibiru or Super Poly. But yeah, I just like to not play into Super Poly, so we are just gonna go into Caesar, and that's the full board. Just simple, cool combo. Let's go into the Apollousa line right now. I still have not found a good 2-card combo for Apollousa with Sharvara, so if you have it, if you have one, please talk to me, because I'm still trying to figure that one out, so I'm not gonna do the Sharvara combo. I could teach you though how to combo off with Sharvara right now. Just do the normal combo with Sharvara. So you just set Sharvara, pop the trap, and right here you get literally anything. Let's go for Shyama. Actually no. I mean, yeah, could be Shyama, yeah, never mind. Then you just link these two off into the Yama and Sharvara trigger as always. Same old. Get escape and you get the Aruha. And you go Aruha on the trap effect gets Sarama. And now you go Sarama, set one, pop the Aruha, and here you get Rakia. Now, right here, what you need is, you need to go you need to go right here, link these two into a second Yama. And you just go Shyama effect on Sarama, and that will trigger both Sarama and Yama. So Yama banishes itself and gets to level 6, and then you get anything from the deck. Since we popped Sarama, let's get an Aruha, just anything at all. And that means we can now go for the 6. And link 2 into the rage, and you still end on it. If you wanted to just end on, for example, if you want just to pop rage instead and keep rage in the graveyard with Yama for this board, you can, if you just you would link these two off for rage and then you pop rage, but I feel like right here this is a better way to do, like this. Plays better into evenly matched and stuff. And you absolutely need to use one Yama on Sharvara. Since you start with Sharvara, you cannot add it to your hand and use it since you already used it. So yeah, you do need to go into to the second Yama, just so that you can keep Yama for next turn and end on the usual board. Okay, that's the Sharvara combo. Let's go for the Apollousa line, which is Tour Guide plus a trap, and this is going to be the last combo for this variant. Then we're going to move on to the second Shyama. Okay. And okay, this is the combo for the Apollousa line, what you do is you go and normal summon the tour guide, and tour guide effects, you can get anything. It doesn't really matter at all. You could, if you really wanted to, you could, if you play, you could summon a Sengan because it's just an extra right here. Since you don't really care about what you summon here, if you play Sengan, you can play Sengan, it just gets you another interruption. But I don't know, since that is not the case, let's just get an Aruha. And then we link into Yama, and you activate Yama to search your deck for a Sharvara. So now you set the trap and you go Sharvara on the trap. Trap effect, get the Shyama. And now you're locked right now into Fiends, at least while Sharvara is on the field, so you need to link it off. So we're just going to Rage, and then Sharvara activates to set a trap. So you just get a trap here, the other one that you're missing. And you take these two, and you go for a double negate Apollousa. And now you can go for Shyama on the trap, and you're gonna go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. So this banishes to get the level 6 on the board, and the trap is literally just gonna get you Sarama. So that you can make Caesar, because Caesar is really good follow-up, as he is a really good double negate. And then you go Sarama, set the chamber, and pop itself for no effect, and you pass on this, which is double monster negate, double summon negate with Caesar, and really good follow-up with the Sharvara and the Caesar. And chamber, during your opponent's turn at any time, could revive Rage to go into your Rage target, be it SP or Unicorn, to anywhere between 6 to 7 disruptions, depending on if you play SP or Unicorn. That is the Apollousa combo, and this is basically everything you need to know for this version. Let's go into the double Shyama one. So the double Shyama one is just gonna play the old style with tour guide, 1-card combos. The 2-card combos does the exact same thing. So I'm just gonna show the tour guide one and the combo if you draw a Sharvara alongside your tour guide, because it ruins your 1-card combo. So you just have the 1-card combo, you go tour guide, and tour guide effect is just gonna get you your Rhino. And you link to for Yama, and you're gonna go Yama, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Rhino. So Rhino sends Sharvara, and we get to our hand an Aruha. Sharvara effect gets you an escape. Then you're gonna go Aruha right here, and that gives you Shyama, so you can play around the beer with this one. And you just go Shyama, pop Aruha. That gets you Sarama. And you just link these two off for Rage. Go Sarama, set a trap, pop Rage. Rage adds Sharvara to your hand. And you just go Shyama on the Sarama. Sarama effect gets you the other Shyama. And you go into Caesar. And you still have the good old board of Sharvara in hand, Caesar, escape, and you still have Rage Yama in the graveyard, the good old board that we used to make. The only bad part is if you don't have a Sharvara on right under Caesar here, you don't have a free target to pop with Sharvara to summon from the deck an Abominable, for example, so you lose that. But you can still do, like, if your opponent tries to remove the escape with Cyclone, you can just Sharvara here, and that still triggers to get a Abominable. It still triggers the Yama, for example. Or you can just use Sharvara to play around, for example, talents, play around, I don't know, Change of Heart, something like that, Marionette Might. It would be crazy to see a Marionette Might right now because no one's playing that since no one is expecting Unchained. But yeah, this is basically the combo, is the good old combo that we all knew. And now we need to know how to deal with this. So we draw a bricky hand, we get Tergite and Sharvara. We cannot go for Rhino because Rhino cannot send Sharvara. So what we do? We go for Tergite here, and Tergite is gonna get anything really. But I like to get Aruha. And what you do is you go Sharvara on the Aruha effect, and you get, it could be Shyama, it could be Sarama. I like Sarama here, actually. Or am I doing a mistake? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be Shyama, for example. Let's do it here so that you already have Shyama to play around the bureau. So you just link into Yama. It's good old Chainlink 1 Yama, Chainlink 2 Sharvara. So you get the escape that you so want, and you actually play nicely around roll because, I mean, we still don't care if your opponent draws us after this, but we can just add a Aruha back to our hand. So we go Aruha on the Trap, and that gets Sarama. So we just link these two into Rage and get Sarama to set escape, pop the Rage, and that triggers to get Sharvara to your hand. And you just go Shyama here on any of these. Actually, I would probably consider right here, we just pop Sarama, actually. We pop Sarama and gets us the Shyama. And you still end on the same board through Nibiru, like this. Here it is. Yep, it's the exact same board. If your opponent Nibiru's you, I'll just show you how. It's gonna be the exact same end board. Doesn't matter when your opponent Nibiru's you. So for example, let's say my opponent Nibiru's me right here. It's going to be the exact same thing because you're always going to be having something set under your summons, or just if not, you can just like set anything for Shyama and still get everything. Yeah. Let's say we had the Sharvara in hand, your opponent declares Nibiru right here. So you get Nibiru, you're left with a token. What you do here is you go Sharvara and you actually pop the trap, and that triggers Yama to get back the Rage. The difference, if you haven't gone through Rage yet, it's exactly none, because you still have a trap that you could pop, most likely, so you could at least pop that and you get extra monsters on the field or something, you know. So you still get, or at least if you don't have a trap on the field, you still have Sarama. So if you revive back Sarama, Sarama can just pop anything right here that we're missing to just get the 4 bodies on the field. So yeah, this we just want to link 4 because now we link these two into the Anguish, and we just go full Griffin line right here. I don't have the Griffin right now with me. You just go Anguish with the Nibiru into Muckracker, Muckracker Revive, and you link this to the Griffin, and Griffin could set any trap. Actually, right now we only have this trap because we did this off of one tour guide, but you just set a trap and you draw 1. So yeah. Okay, and this is basically the combo for the version that plays a second Shyama. Let's go and show how you combo with Disaster, how you do to do the normal line if you play Disaster. So how you do it is you start with Escape and Aruha or Sharvara, or you start with only Tour Guide, it also works. And you just go Aruha on the Trap and Trap effect. Gets you Sharvara. And you link off into Yama. And you go Yama, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Sharvara. So you get to add, no, Sharvara first, sorry. You get the other trap and you can get the Sarama, which is basically same old, same hold. And actually you want to play around the bureau most times you just, if you start with Aruha or with Sharvara and you get Aruha to your field, you most likely want to leave this trap right here. So you just go like Sarama, pop here. So in that case, you would probably like play the ratios of your deck list so that you start with Chamber, so that the one that stays it's Escape. You know, but that depends on you. Here we started with Escape, so doesn't matter. If you want to play around the bureau without needing a second spell in your hand, you have to do that. So yeah, we just set and pop, and that gives us the Shyama. And you just link into Rage. And you can set the other trap, pop Rage, right here. And Rage effect gets Sharvara to your hand. And you can just go Shyama, pop the Sarama, gets you, oh right, no, actually no, you don't do that. I was autopiloting if you had the second one deck. No, you do not do that. You definitely don't. When you're here, what you could do, actually, you would probably just set trap, and if your opponent hits you with Nibiru, you need a second spell trap, because now you just get to yourself the Disaster. And we want to go Shyama, pop Disaster, and Disaster effect gets the Sharvara on the field. You could pop Shyama, use Shyama, pop Sarama, and get something different so that you don't lose to Super Poly because Sarama is dark. So you could just do that and summon Aruha or Rakia, but then you do Super Poly anyways into Caesar. So yeah, this is how you play with Disaster, and you just go for a grind game where next turn you're just gonna have the possibility of getting to just keep going with disaster. For example, like if you pop rage and you add back Sarama next turn, you can just Sarama, pop disaster, and that summons back from your grave any monster in your grave, so it can get back a rage to get more link ups. It could get back a Yama if you have not used it, which triggers on summon and not on link summon. So if you revive it, it still searches or something like that. So yeah, you just get a better grind game with disaster, because it gives you more options to just revive your links that do all the work, your link trees and stuff. So that's really nice. But yeah, this is just the main board. Yeah, you clearly just lose to Nibiru right here, but you have just set up for a better grind game. And it plays around bestials as well, because if they because we do not use our Yama for the main combo, and we do not revive from the grave any dark at all. We do never put rage in the graveyard, so it plays around nice into, I don't know, a bestial, but I don't feel like that's going to be useful at the moment in a fire format. But yeah. So I hope I helped you guys, gave you some more tips with the deck, helped you decide for this format what philosophy you want to take right now, and what you should do on the deck building aspect for it, and etc etc. I just hope I was helpful to you. If I did, if I was, you just drop a like down below. It helps a lot. At least it helps me a lot mentally, because it makes my day when you guys do drop the likes, the comments, all the feedback. It's been insane this month, actually. I've not been used to getting this much attention to my channel, so it really makes me happy that you guys are enjoying my videos. So yeah, leave your likes down below, comment if you have any question or suggestion. If you did find a line for Sharvara, for the Apollousa lines, let me know, because I'm still looking for a way to combo off with this into Apollousa. It just never goes the full way. It's just so mid. So yeah, comment that if you have any suggestion for that, or ask me any questions. I will always try to answer your questions in the comments. Subscribe, never miss any of my future videos. We are almost at 200 subscribers. Let's go get it, guys, please. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna see you guys next time.